Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcats Studios, with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Oh, welcome back to Wildcat Studios for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats. I am your host, Adam, and I am joined in studio by maybe the luckiest guy in the city of Moncton, your favorite co-hoster, now my favorite co-hoster, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. Oh man, we almost called our shot, eh? Like we just about called our shot. I think I did call. I said if you want something, if you want to win something, get Germany to do it with you, and made it happen.
What did I tell you when we walked into the rink, Adam, on that Thursday night?
You're feeling lucky?
I thought I was feeling lucky.
Yeah.
And there was that nice lady that was right there. She's like, 50-50, 50-50. And I said, no.
No, got to be strategic.
Got to be strategic.
Yep.
And I turned to you, I said, we got to buy it. Second intermission.
Yep.
I know they got to go see.
And you were steadfast on that.
Yeah. And we walked around second intermission.
Yep.
And you said, oh, let's get our tickets here. I said, no. One more corner. I was like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy. And lo and behold,
it was the guy.
It was the guy. So yeah, anybody who was completely under a rock during that last Thursday game against Baie-Comeau, Quebec. Sorry, my bad. Adam and I cashed in big 50-50 winners, and I was excited. I think I was high-fiving random strangers, which of course is not supposed to be done in these days.
And it's funny. I've never ever faked it with the 50-50, like where it just draws a number and you're like, yeah, but you don't actually win anything. I've never actually done that for attention. So to actually win, it was pretty, and I wasn't going to buy 50-50s that night. Like I wasn't planning on it. I just happened to find a 50-50 doubler, and I was like, well, we might as well split it and see what we can get. But
yeah, and that was pretty fun. It was awesome. Yeah. 14, we each got $1,450, I think. So
yep.
I actually don't go out and buy much for myself, but that next night, that Friday, I went out to the NB Liquor and did the old bar in a box for $100 and got myself some Crown Royals, some Jack Daniels, some spiced rum, and some Baileys. And I can confirm that 2.5 of those bottles are already gone in less than a week. So
and then you won yesterday.
I did. So I got an email from the Wildcats indicating that I was one of the Make the Play winners, $25 gift card to Sports Rock. So I will enjoy that. Probably spend it on booze. and then the TV from a couple of weeks ago. So
it's ridiculous. So literally, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to win something, contact Jeremy on our Twitter DM, Moncton Wildcast, on our Instagram DM, Wildcast Podcast. I'll get that message over to him. And now on TikTok, I'll get that message to him. That's where you can find us. And if you want to win something, this is your connection to make that happen. No quick question tonight.
Well, kind of.
What?
Kind of.
So
Monday was a pretty historic day. The Tim Hortons and Justin Bieber collaboration of the Tim Biebs.
So marketing 101.
So I thought maybe we could sample some because I've yet to...
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yeah, hashtag not a sponsor. I've yet to put any of these into my mouth. So I thought maybe we could try these and kind of give them a score out of, 5 or 10?
5.
Out of 5? Okay.
I don't know what flavor I'm getting, so...
Let's, you try that one. I'll try the same one. I figure that's got to be.
What are the 3 flavors again?
That one's got to be the.
This looks like the waffle one. Isn't there a chicken waffle or something?
Is that a waffle one?
I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like a waffle one or a chocolate white fudge. No, sour cream. Let's try it. Let's do this one.
It's not bad. I think this is the chocolate and the white fudge, is it? Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, this has got to be the chocolate white fudge.
Yeah, that's what this is. I mean, I'm not rushing out to get them.
Or is this sour cream chocolate chip?
If it's sour cream, I don't taste sour cream.
Yeah, this is
For those listening on audio, you should really click over the YouTube. We're actually eating these on.
I figure this is sour cream chocolate chip.
Holy crap, that's huge.
I think
it's two of
I
them.
think that's a Siamese one.
Oh, okay.
Then there's this one. This one's got to be this is definitely birthday cake waffle. You try that.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really improve on birthday cake flavor.
You can taste the birthday cake. It's
You
just
can
like
taste
going to birthday cake pancakes at
Yeah,
IHOP.
exactly. That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not rushing to get these. They're all right. They're different.
Yeah, they're sweet. It's sweet.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give the chocolate chip one a 3, and
Yeah.
I'll give that one like a 2. Because
This
like all I tasted was birthday cake. Like I didn't get any waffle. It was
I'm
basically birthday cake.
This has got to be the chocolate white fudge. I want to roll.
Huh.
This almost looks like a coronavirus variant.
Yeah.
Not bad. Sweet.
Yeah,
Very sweet.
They're sweet. You really taste the chocolate, so you can't really taste the outer, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been infused in the chocolate or
I agree.
infused in the not just a layer on the outside. Because
Got like a Boston cream, but like the white fudge, like inside the Timbit.
yeah,
I'll give that one a 2.
yeah,
We
these
like-
aren't really wowing me.
No, I really like this. This must be the chocolate white fudge.
All right. Well, while you finish those, we're gonna get to news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
I literally did an hour of cardio just for this moment. I went to the gym and did an hour of cardio just because I knew we were going to be eating some Bieber balls tonight.
And you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Yeah, some news in the Maritime Division for sure. News broke yesterday in Sydney as Jake Grimes has stepped away from the Eagles due to personal family reasons. They were last 2 wins in the last 24, but I mean, I don't think this was an on-ice issue at all. As obviously this is a young team rebuilding, but this is more of an off-the-ice thing, and we just we want to wish him the best in whatever personal family issues arise. Just be interesting to see who they bring in, if they kind of bring somebody in, or if they just stick with an assistant and kind of rebuild and re-kick this thing off next year with a new coach.
Well, I'll mention his name. I think this is 2 weeks in a row I bring up Andrew Barrington's name.
Yeah.
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 So my little boy Barrington. Boy Wonder Andrew Barrington.
Yeah.
Obviously big insider for the Cape Breton Eagles, very reliable source here. And he said even the players didn't even know why,
really?
Yeah, why Jake Grimes was left the team. So clearly something that's within his inner personal life, and we wish him the best. Anytime I hear the name Grimes, I just think of Frank Grimes from The Simpsons. I'm Homer Simpson. I'm returning to work without washing my hands because I'm Homer Simpson. Then he electrocutes himself.
Yeah.
Like some of my
That makes
favorite
sense.
Grimes, grimy.
Well, that's over. Like, it's too bad you can't think of it. Well, I mean, I guess you can, right? He'll probably still be brought up.
Oh yeah,
But
he'll be back. In terms of replacements, I'm a big fan of Chris Colligan. I know he's currently their assistant coach, and he's from Sydney, played for the Eagles. So to me, I think it's a perfect fit. I think is it Matt Anthony that's going to replace him?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, on an interim basis. He's decent, but I think if you really want to be a community team, what better way than to literally have a coach that's from Sydney, a former Eagle.
Yeah.
That's how you kind of build the community team.
Help change the culture, which they were kind of starting to change with Jake Grimes there.
Exactly. So, that kind of came as a surprise. Obviously the other one we'll get to here in a minute.
Yeah.
Shouldn't shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
No, absolutely not.
This one was one of those ones that came out of left field. So yeah, wish Jake all the best.
For sure. Yeah, and speaking of the other news in the division, the Titan finally relieved Mario DeRoche of his duties, basically after a terrible start for this team that came in with so many expectations. They've hired former assistant from the Shawinigan Cataract, Jason Clark. You and I have given our thoughts, but we thought, why not bring in friend of the show and from I Have 8 Podcasts and Bathurst.com, Jonathan Waugh, on the show to talk about what's happening up in Bathurst. Johnny Rocket, how are you?
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, and actually, voice of Stick Tap of the Week now. How are you, buddy?
I'm pretty awesome, man. Doing really, really well.
Good to hear. Hey, just before we get started with this interview, have you tried the Bieber balls yet?
Yes, actually, I did a TikTok like 2 hours ago with my son.
Oh yeah.
We actually gave notes on each of the Bieber balls.
Okay, we just did our own little
Yeah.
review of them, so that's at the
So
start of the show.
Yours is probably better than ours.
Yeah,
but-
we're not.
Well, I don't know
your kid's
what
a
is
star.
your opinion, but two of those are pretty good.
So yeah, I mean, Mario fired after, I guess, 3 seasons with Bathurst. 2019, he went 12-40. Last year in the bubble, he went 21-10, which I assume saved his position this year. And then 10-10, just not a good start for a team with so many expectations.
Yeah, not at all. In my opinion, it's like a year and a half too late. For my old podcast buddy for Mark, he's been 3.5 too late, 3.5 years too late because he always hated him ever since the Titan got him. And I mean, a lot of people said that probably last year saved his job for this year. But when you think about that, I mean, last year was nothing than normal. I mean, we played against you guys, well, against Moncton and St. John like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's pretty easy after a while to get some wins. I mean, yeah, we finished 4th in the division, but was it really 4th? I have a hard time saying it was. But this year, we were good at the beginning of the year. I mean, we went 5-0 and 6-1. But when Bennett McCarthy got injured a while ago, everything just went down the drain. And in my book, if you basically rely on one guy, well, don't consider your team a contender team, because if you are basically just one injury away of getting like a really bad stretch, is pretty bad. But
Yeah.
like I said to everybody since I started speaking about Mario Durocher is gone, when you're a coach, your job is to coach, your job is to adapt, your job is to find solution, is to make changes, line changes, is to adapt on the power play if it's not working, is to adapt on the PK. And maybe Mario did that earlier in his years because, I mean, he's been coaching for 30-something years. But nowadays, I don't think his style of coaching was the right style. And I sure hope all the best for him, but I doubt he will get another at least head coaching job in the Q. Maybe will be like an assistant or something somewhere. But in terms of coaching, he's like outdated, really too much because I don't want to be mean to all the kids, because I mean, some kids are awesome, but the majority of kids nowadays, they're like mini businesses. They're like their own little companies, and they're all princess. So you have to deal with that. But
Yeah.
older coaches has a different set of minds.
Yeah.
Is basically their way or the highway. If it's not working the way I'm going to tell you guys, well, screw you. It's not working nowadays. So you need a coach that is here for the right reason, to change, to adapt, to be a mentor to those kids, not basically the big bully that you're scared of every time they're going into practice.
Yeah, spot on. You
It's all
literally
about brand now.
Yeah, you literally took the words right out of my mouth, so it's tough for me to really get another question in here. But obviously, news made around that Jason Clark was brought in to as the new head coach. This Jason Clark, I'm a big fan of. This is a guy.
Oh,
who,
nice.
Yeah, this is a guy. When Rumble was canned here in Moncton, he was one of the guys that I was hoping would make the jump from Junior A to the Q. So this is for me, it's a really smart hire. Someone who's been around the junior hockey ranks for long enough to know what it's like to coach a championship team. Like this is a guy. If you look at his record with Carleton Place, he's I think he's won GM of the year. He's won Coach of the Year. So this is a guy that's I think will do a lot of good for Bathurst. What do you know about him, and what of your contacts close to the Bathurst organization expect him to bring to the team?
Well, I mean, obviously, when I kind of got the words that it was him like a week before his hiring, so I had a lot of research going on. But obviously, there's not much to know other than he actually had a dynasty in Ontario with Carleton Place, which is awesome. I mean, he won Coach of the Year like 4 times and GM of the Year a couple of times. He went to the not the provincial, but the final in junior A like 2 or 3 times. I mean, that's really awesome. But in terms of coaching, I had, because I know now, I had no clue what kind of coach he was. But in my opinion, he has to be the total opposite of Mario Durocher, which, from what I heard from a couple of guys that actually know him, I actually spoke to 2 guys that actually played for him in Carleton Place, because when the Titan announced his hiring, there's a lot of comments and shared and retweet were happening on Twitter. And I noticed a few guys, and I just sent him a quick message just for fun. And he basically said that if you deserve to play, you will love that guy. But the thing is, you have to work hard for him. But if you're working hard, you're going to deserve every single minute that you are in a game. You're going to love that coach. He has a different system than Mario Durocher, from what I heard. And in practice, it's funny because, I'm sorry, but I had a friend, one of my friends was at the key serving today, and it was his first practice. And he said, when I saw the guys getting on the ice, I just sat down for fun to see if the new coach was there. And he's a guy that actually walks around the arena. He says, often I was there when Mario had like some practice, and it was either like, do this, do that, or sometimes he was like pitting a fuse. So it was like cursing and everything. He said it's total opposite with Jason Clark. I mean, he's really cheerful. He's speaking really loud, but it's for the right reason. He's congratulating the boys on a nice play and stuff like that. So that's a different mentality. So I like everything that I heard so far about him. But like I said, I never saw what's his game plan, what kind of scheme he's using. But from what I heard from other players, person that know him, from you right now, I guess it's a great hire. A lot of people were kind of shocked because, obviously everybody knows that the Titan will go all in this year, and hiring like a rookie coach, kind of being the Q, is definitely not a rookie coach in his career, but he's a rookie coach in the Q, was kind of a bit of a questioning. But from all the hours that has passed since yesterday, I only heard positive things about that guy. So I can't wait to see him in action on Thursday in Bathurst.
Well, I mean, it's 10-10. This team's not where anyone up in Bathurst thought they would be. We don't want to get much of your after Christmas wish list, but just, what's the sense around this around the city and what people are wanting? It's too late to not really go all in. You're still going all in this contending year, but what are you kind of hearing about, the old wish list there, sir?
Well, it's really an odd year, because usually I get a few of my contacts saying that, Sylvain was like chatting with this guy, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But this year, I mean, it's there's nothing yet. And I have a feeling that, I mean, obviously he's prepared. I mean, Sylvain knows what he's going to do. Probably have a few trail already in place. But I think his mind was so set on, I have to make a coaching change because it's not working.
Yeah.
And it was in a newspaper a couple of weeks ago. He went down the dressing room and had a big chat with Mario Durocher. And I guess from what I've heard, Mario Durocher said give me up until Christmas to put the boat back on. If I can't, let me go. But I guess he didn't last that long because it was like 2 weeks after and he's gone now.
Yeah.
So in terms of players, I mean, I said it on your first show you had me at the beginning of the year. My dream would be Miguel Tourigny, but honestly, I don't know if he would be the main like addition that we need to add right now, because I think we need depth at forwards.
Right.
Our rookies are good. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. But we need more grit, more veteran presence on the third and the fourth line. To do that, do you trade asset? Do you trade picks? Do you trade guys in the lineup right now? Do you send a couple of youngsters back in the midget or in the junior A? Honestly, I don't know. And I honestly don't know who's available that would actually be nice to add, because the first thing that comes to my mind is 3 years ago when we went all in, we added Samuel Asselin. Back in the days when we got Samuel Asselin, people were like, who the heck is that guy? But we sure know who that guy is now.
He seemed to work out.
He's one of the main reasons we won two cups. So it's one of that kind of guys that we need to add, like not the big ticket guy, but somebody that will know his role, that is fine with that, and will excel in that role exactly like a Samuel Italien did, exactly like a Samuel Asselin did also. So I don't know if we're gonna go after like the big ticket guys like a Elliot Desnoyers or Miguel Tourigny, or those kind of guys, or he's just gonna go at depth, experience, more like mature kind of fellas, because even at defense, I mean, we were pretty young in the back. Like our fourth, fifth, and sixth defensemen are really young. Well, and the seventh also is a rookie. But I think that's pretty much what Sylvain's going to do. But God knows, I mean, we always have some surprises with him. Maybe we'll make like a blockbuster trade with a team and get 3 players at the same time or something like that.
For sure.
We haven't seen a trade like that in a while. That would be
no,
right?
no.
We've got a couple,
but it would be nice.
we've got a couple guys that we might be willing to give if
for first rounders.
A couple first rounders.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to talk about the Wildcats, but I'm kind of curious. Like, what do you guys think that Moncton will do? I mean, you guys are doing pretty great. I mean, it's surprising, obviously, if you look at the team. But do you think it's going to be like a big sell-off at Christmas? Do you think you're going to add something, or I don't even know how to think you guys will do that?
My early prediction, I know we're less than a month away from the trade period, is I think we will move a forward and a defenseman. And if we bring any players in, it'll be a trade for the future. Like a player who,
like at the draft, player comes back.
Kind of like a player who's wants a change of scenery.
Okay.
Someone that's like a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old that needs a change of scenery. Someone like a maritime kid that's playing in Quebec that wants to be closer to home or something like that, or just some player who wants to needs a change of scenery, wants more ice time. So that's the only situation I see where we actually bring a player in.
Yeah, and I would say stay the course. Like there's no point, and I hope winning is fun. Let's get that out of the way. But I hope it doesn't get to the point where we're buying X and Y to win a playoff round and get to round 2. Like that doesn't help the future when we're trying to build for 2-3 years down the road. So because
when I look at your lineup, I mean, you guys have a lot of guys that could be interesting, but after I'm thinking like, but who's going to be available? That's my thing. I mean, you have like a Lebel, a Pilote, a Langlois, I mean, even a couple of other guys that are really interesting for other teams, but are they going to be available? That's a whole other question.
I don't think we'd see Pilote traded, but there's obviously someone like Lebel or Langlois or Anthony Hamel. Those are I think 3 players that are likely going to get some interest, but at the same time we have to take into consideration that those are all 19-year-olds, and we can't go and trade all the 19-year-olds, because then you're going into next season needing 20-year-olds, and then you're trading assets to get 20-year-olds. So it just doesn't make sense to trade them away to then turn around and have to make deals to bring in players. So that's why I say I think, between Langlois and LaBelle, one will be traded, and I think Anthony Hamel is, will be gone as well. So it's those are kind of two trades that I can see happening for sure.
Yeah, but definitely, I mean, depending on who's getting traded, you guys could have like a really awesome trio of 20-year-old next year because, I mean, again, all depends. I mean, who do you trade or and not? But yeah, they could. It's a pretty talented players, especially a LaBelle that blew up this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, and you don't want to mess with the chemistry because they got a nice little chemistry going. But you did a good job there at the end, teasing our next through 2 or 3 episodes there, Mister Waugh, because we're gonna have the trade.
And it's funny because I actually
up.
spoke to Jeremy this week. I was wondering if you guys were like making like a trade episode or something like that, and I guess you guys are doing it.
Yeah, we usually try to get the old media roundtable and get views from across the Maritime Division, and then we got our mega episode on the last week before Christmas. So
clear your schedule there for
schedule.
December 20th,
and by that time I'll try to chuck my contact around the league and to see if I can get some old gossip from the Titan and maybe from a few other teams also, because we're St. John is probably gonna buy everything in special at the Black Friday, so they're gonna be on the move for sure.
Oh, they won't be getting no Black Friday discounts.
No, not this year. No, not this year.
No, overcharge.
Full pop Christmas deals. But 13th and the 20th will probably be our 2 trade episodes. So, man, we really appreciate you taking the time, and
no problem.
Hopefully we didn't keep you too long, and we'll see you. We'll chat in a couple weeks, man.
Talk to you guys in a couple of weeks.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Thanks.
Have a good one. Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah. I knew if we brought him on, he was going to be happy about the coaching relief, because that was.
It's the most wonderful.
Yeah, and he wasn't singing about Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't singing about Christmas at all. It'll be interesting, which I tweeted from the show, like, the coach bump, right? You always get that coach bump for a week to 10 days, and a week to 10 days, and Bathurst is pretty much into the trade deadline period, and you got to figure out what you want to do quickly.
This is the right move.
Right? It's the right move.
It's the right move. It's the right. They're bringing in the right coach. I already said that I was high on him, and when I said I was hoping he'd be one of the options when Rumble got canned, I was being honest. I knew he was ready to make that next step, but
so far I think 2 of your 3 options back then are now in the Maritime Division.
There you go, right? So
Clark, Gordy Dwyer, and I think you had Felix Potvin as one of your.
Felix Potvin, yeah, but
but I don't think he's ever leaving Magog. I think there was one more, but I can't remember.
He left Magog.
Did he?
Who's their coach now? Another former player.
Oh, okay.
I guess Robida's dad, isn't it? Stefan Robida, I think, is the coach of Magog now. No. So, Felix Potvin moved on, I think. I'm not exactly sure what he did, but, Gordy Dwyer ended up Maritime Division. Jason Clark ended up Maritime Division. So there's good coaches out there that, they're going to get their big break. This is a big one for Jason Clark. It's fantastic coach. Players are going to love him. And if this doesn't turn Bathurst around, I don't know what will. So they're, if they're still, losing games left and right here, I'll be surprised.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Head coach Stefan Robida.
Yeah.
That's a coaching lineage here from Felix Potvin to Stefan Robida, and they were really good with Felix Potvin, so and
they're really good with
Stefan Robida.
With Stefan Robida as well. Yeah. So I'm not sure we're let me check the old Felix Potvin
database. All right, well, you do that. We're gonna get into the weekly rewind.
Something tells me that
Weekly rewind.
All right, the Wildcats split the home games against the Rempart and the Drakkar, bringing the record to 11-7-2-1 for 25 points. 3rd in the Maritimes and 5th in the Eastern Conference. Thursday, not only did it was a 2-for win. Jeremy and I won as we let everyone know at the start of the show and on the social medias, and and the Wildcats ended up getting a 4-2 victory over Quebec. Just like I said on the post-game show, and you've said many times over, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And that's another one that
Yeah, it is another one.
they were coming in, and you could just tell Moncton was fired up to get that W. And they hung on. I don't want to say they hung on. The Rampart controlled most of the play in the first 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 or 3 times you looked over and you're like, they're not on a power play. They're not on a power play. But Moncton took advantage. I mean, they had 7 shots in each of the first 2 periods, and they were tied 2-2, 9 shots in the third, and they got the 2 goals to get the victory. So they took advantage of the limited opportunities they had and put the puck in the net.
Yeah, and I think arguably the turning point of this game is that Blagden fight.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yep.
That was because I think Quebec had just tied it up, I think, and then the fight was just shortly after that, and then we because
they tied it. Cornuet tied it at 16:37, and then I think he had the hit on Auger.
Yeah,
which was questionable, and Blagden.
And the fight was when
19 minutes, so 3 minutes later.
Yeah,
a minute left in the third.
That gave the team some life going into the third, and they didn't look back. I gotta give mad props to. I know he didn't get the goal there, but Miles Mueller on that game winner, man.
Yeah.
If he would have put that in, I think the roof would have blown off the building because that would have been one hell of a goal. But he stuck with it and he made the play. So he's like probably at this point, he's not. The points aren't coming, the goals aren't there, but he's arguably one of the more underrated players on this team.
Yeah.
He almost reminds me of a 17-year-old Francis Langlois, where he comes in, he's getting, he's in and out of the lineup to a little bit, but he's still he's contributing, right? He's doing his job. He's not getting the points,
but he's doing the little things.
And he's like, and I see like next season he's going to take a big step. So he's a player that at the start of training camp, I was like, I don't think this guy has a chance to make the team.
Last year we had the Miles Mueller experiment.
Yeah,
all right, a 12th round pick.
Okay.
All right, cool.
That's another one, another late rounder.
Yeah.
And then he makes that Switzerland team at the under 18s, I think, in the summertime.
Yep.
And at that point, he's coming to a training camp as a player with international experience. It's tough to cut a player with international experience.
Mm-hmm.
So he's proven, to be well worth the ice time that he's been given. And jeez, man, I wish he would have scored that goal, but at the same time, he did the right thing. I don't think he can get a better place shot by Degrosseillier on that game winner.
So tell me something good about this one.
I think it's pretty obvious, Yeah, tell me something good is that that 50-50 win that when we went to claim our money, they thought that the person might have left.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to watch the end of the game.
Yeah.
But we cashed in, and I'm, sadly some of that money is going to be gone, but I'll hang on to it.
But if there's a time to win it, the week before December when the Christmas season's coming is a perfect week. And you're right, like Langlois is getting better. I mean, I think he was a player we expected a lot of from last year, and I think not playing with Hudson maybe hurt him because he's got to be the guy. And like you said, Mueller and Langlois, they're playing together. Max Barbashev made his return in that game. I kind of like that line. I think that's a pretty decent second line. Casey and Lounsbury made their debut the following night against Baie-Comeau, which talk about playing down to the competition, and it was just kind of a letdown game. They were so amped up to play Quebec and just coming down off that high of beating a team that's contending for Memorial Cup and, a team that they're not expected to beat. And against Baie-Comeau, they had spots, like they had 2 minutes that they got back in the game. LaBelle got his 7th in 7 games. Langlois got a goal again. But it just wasn't good enough, and I think it was just the come down from the Quebec game for me.
Sam, I'm grinding my teeth here because I just don't know if I can say that they played down to the opponent. Baie-Comeau was coming into this game winning 3 in a row.
True.
And Olivier Adam at this point was probably one of the hottest goalies.
5 in a row, I think.
Yeah. So to say that they played down to their opponent,
you're right.
I can't say that.
I think I mean in terms of standings.
Standings, yeah.
Standings
they should have. You know what I mean? If they can beat Quebec, they can beat Baie-Comeau. But Bakehoman was coming in this game, on a hot streak. This was actually their first road win of the season, and
Wah-wah.
I think they won Did they win the next night too? Did they get 2 in a row? Where do they go after the Moncton game?
Bathurst? No, they lost in Bathurst on Saturday. I think they went to Charlotte.
They didn't know. They lost.
Please.
They lost in overtime to St. John,
Bakehoman.
and something tells me didn't they win the next game?
They beat they beat us 3-2, and then they lost in overtime to St. John,
Right.
and they got beat by Bathurst 8-3.
Okay, right. Okay, so they almost beat St. John because I think Francis tied it up with like 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
And then they won it in overtime. So
Yeah.
that's why I say I can't say that they played down. They were just coming in a hot streak, hot goalie, and they're a
good team.
They're riding high, right?
Yeah. I just mean in terms of the standings. Like, this is a team that you're supposed to beat. And
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. But to say that they, I don't think they looked down on their opponent. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean when you say
Yeah.
the standings. It's that part makes sense. But they Bakehoman rode their way to victory, and they almost got a win the next night in St. John too. So
just something about those back-to-backs at home.
they made that road trip worthwhile. You know, 3 points out of a possible 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Which is, anytime you can get 3 out of 6 on a maritime road swing, far travel, well, not bad travel.
No.
It's not that far, but it's the Quebec teams. If you're not a championship contender, in most cases, these Quebec teams struggle on the maritime road trip. So for Bakehoman, to come in and get 3 out of possible 6, I think that's a huge success.
So tell me something good about this one.
Oh geez, I actually forgot to do one for this game.
I got one.
I knew the 50-50 was an obvious one.
I got one if you...
Yeah, give her.
Preston Lounsbury getting his first QMJHL points.
obvious.
Funny. I just kind of guessed on the live. I was like, well, they're probably going to be without... I mean, Pavan got hurt. They're probably going to be without a player. They'll probably call it Preston Lounsbury. He makes the most sense. Sure enough, he was there, got his first, and Nathan Casey got his first as a Wildcat this season, making his return. I thought he looked good. They were both on the fourth line with Blagden. Like, his speed, I think they're missing that. They were missing that speed a little bit on that fourth line. I thought those 3 players played really good.
Yeah, Preston Lounsbury's going to be a player in this league. I think he's to me he's not a top 6 guy. But this is going to be easily a third line player.
Yeah.
And I think between him and Nathan Casey, these are 2 players who I think are going to end up being line mates for a couple of years, because Nathan Casey, I mean, he's got underrated speed, and he's just such an effective in a third line role. Same with Preston Lounsbury. He's got that upside that he's going to put up points as a third liner as well. So these are 2 guys that I think going forward, starting next season, will be looking good on that third line.
And, now the team's on their way to 3 games in 4 as they go to Drummondville tonight. Then they got the 4-year on Friday, the Huskies on Saturday. This is probably the toughest of the road trips just based on travel. But, I mean, Drummondville's right where we are in the standings in the Western Conference. Val-d'Or's, I think they got 18 points. So, and the Huskies we lost to in a shootout, I believe. On October 24th. So, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen them, but 3 games, 6 points. This is kind of the competition you're playing. Like, this is the teams that you should be playing. This will be a bit of a test for these guys on the road, and for some of these guys, the ability to have their families there in Drummondville. Is a big thing.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Wildcats fans in Drummondville. There's because it's very close. Obviously, the drive to Rouyn-Noranda and Val-d'Or is a little more on the
maybe not as many
on the
gas
gas tank.
and Huskies, but
you never know. They might go for that poutine across the street from the rink in Rouyn-Noranda. Apparently, it's one of the best in the world.
we have to get there.
Yeah, eventually. But no, there's going to be a crap ton of Wildcats fans at this game in Drummondville, and there's also going to be a debut. As we shared on the Twitter.
Yep.
Yesterday afternoon, Alex Mercier is getting the call up for the road trip. Going to make his Wildcats debut, and this is big. Might be another one possibly later in the road trip. Not sure, but we'll see about that one. But definitely Mercier will be there, as reported by Sean Hatchard in the Times and Transcripts. So. Obviously, the injury bug is still hitting the team. Loshing, Pavin, Ty Bell, Ethan Dolmont, Moran's away at U17.
Having a heck of a tournament, leading all defensemen.
Yeah. As pointed out by
Us.
Yep. So, and it's some team decided to put together
Put
a
a
tweet
fancy
about
picture.
4 hours later.
Yeah,
So,
welcome.
There's that, and
Good to see Tyler Peddle for the first time.
He's at U17s.
Never mind, we don't get to see him.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a bonus, I guess.
Yeah. He's at U17s. But no,
I don't know why I don't think he would be there when our guy is there.
Yeah.
But
no, Drummondville's a good team. I've always been a fan of Luke Woodworth, Simon Hughes. I don't, he doesn't seem to be playing much in Drummondville.
Mm-hmm.
When I said earlier that when we were talking to Johnny about maritime players that might need a change of scenery, that's one player that
right.
I wouldn't mind as a trade for the future. And yeah, Justin Cote, it's a good young team. For some reason, Sean Stewart's still on the roster, but that's not happening.
no.
Yeah, good young team. Probably a team that will contend again in a couple of years. And I think I wouldn't necessarily say we're on I would say we're on the same projection in terms of where we are going forward. So this
With
is
Drummondville?
Drummondville and Moncton, yeah. We've got they've got Riley Mercer as a young goalie. We've got Filion as a young goalie. They've had a couple good young defensemen back there. They've got some young forwards. So I see our teams kind of on the same track.
Yeah.
So this should be a really good game.
And then we get the rebuilding foyer. I don't think Justin Robidoux will be there much longer. He'll probably likely be moved at the deadline. That's a pretty big piece for a team hosting a Mum Cup. This is a team that went all in, so they're a very young team on their first year in the rebuild. So,
the sooner they can trade off their players, the better. Because that, we've got their 2023 first.
Can confirm.
So, obviously, I think who's got their first this year?
I gotta believe it's Baie-Comeau.
Baie-Comeau, that's right. Yeah, Baie-Comeau does. So, wow.
Baie-Comeau
could have two lottery picks, and so that's obviously
seemed to work out for Halifax last year.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
but 6 points. You'd be happy with 4.
Yeah, Denny had a good poll there earlier.
Did you
yesterday.
vote on it?
I did. Yeah, I did 3 to 4.
I did 3 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think that'd be based on what I like about this road trip is the day off after the Drummondville game.
Yeah.
Because that trip up up northwest Quebec is a long haul.
Yep.
And but it's also very scenic. I think they go through the Mont Tremblant area, so very very mountainous, if that's the word.
Yes.
So it'd be fun for the players to go through. Obviously, they've done the trip before, so
yeah.
And this is always one of those trips where is it the Val d'Or game is the last one? No, we play Val d'Or first, right?
Yeah, we play Val d'Or.
Yeah. So maybe
Friday.
it's one of those things where there's an incentive for the boys on this road trip. It's we've seen it done before where if they can go in and play well and get 6 points, maybe there's a jet waiting for them at the airport in Rouyn-Noranda after the game to fly them home instead of taking the bus. So we've seen that incentive before from that road trip. So we'll see if it happens again.
Yeah, that's poor Bernie. Never gets the advantage of that.
Poor Bernie.
It's one thing to drive up there with a bus full of players, but hey, take all the gear home.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Take your time. No rush. Just
no rush. We don't need it for another 2 weeks, but and who knows? Maybe we'll see if we can get voice of the Wildcats Tim Roselle back after a road trip.
There you go. Be all right.
See how that road trip went. But you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
I am.
All right.
Yep.
Let's get to it.
Eric Murray Realtor, buy our house from him. Stick tap of the week.
Never gets old.
I love that.
Yeah.
So as everybody knows, I've lived in New Brunswick for the majority of my life, and a lot of nights growing up was spent in front of the TV watching the CTV 6 o'clock news. Last night was really the end of an era in the maritime news scene. Steve Murphy is his. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hanging up the microphone, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
He's he's an icon. An icon for. I remember I've been watching him on the 6 o'clock news on CTV for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. I can't even remember how long it's been. He's just been on the air for that many years, and one of the more respected gentlemen in the news, media scene, in Atlantic Canada, if not all of Canada.
Yeah.
He stuck to his roots, always stayed in the Maritimes, didn't go take a big job in Ottawa to cover, Parliament Hill. He stuck to his roots. Last night was his last show, and it's like I said, end of an era. He's an icon, it's going to be tough watching that news without him, and he probably won't see this, probably doesn't know we exist, but it's like that a lot with the stick tap of the week. Steve Murphy, if you are watching or listening, this one's for you. All the best in your retirement. We will miss you. Be well.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
I figured your stick tap was coming out of Halifax. I didn't think it was going to be Steve out of Halifax. I thought it was going to be the Boost Heads out of Halifax.
Oh well,
Their retro night,
there was going to be that was obviously their 90s night was going to be an easy stick tap of the week, but
I like that stick tap better.
Some things are a little more important, and we like to keep it stick away from hockey, right? It's
what I always liked about Steve, like coming out here for 4 years.
Yeah.
When he has a guest on, whether it be a political guest or sometime guest, dude takes no crap.
Yeah, very fair.
He literally asks the questions that you want asked.
Yeah.
He doesn't set him up with, fluff pieces to give an easy answer.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You've seen it, especially the past year and a half with Higgs, and there's
been a lot of elections.
Yeah.
There's been a New Brunswick election. There's been a federal election. There's been a Nova Scotia election. This guy's fair. He's very fair. He doesn't, regardless of which political party he votes for, he definitely doesn't show it in these interviews. Whether it's someone wearing green, orange, red, or blue, purple,
you get the same questions and the same take no shit attitude.
Yeah, true professional.
Yeah.
Always, just I can't put it into words just because of how much of an impact he's meant to the news world around here and my household. He's just someone that we'd always eat dinner, as a family at 6 o'clock with the TV on in the kitchen to watch Steve Murphy. So it's like I said, end of an era. If I were to give an honorable stick tap, obviously to the Mooseheads for their 90s night,
just unfreaking
everything
believable.
from the lineups to the jerseys to the music to the
commercials,
the
commercials
ATV commercials
like Doogie Howser from the 90s. Like, my God, you're gonna do era nights, and you're wearing the same jerseys current. Like, you have the ability to have 4 different eras of jerseys. No, like. Having an era night or a 90s night doesn't count if you just play music. It doesn't count. I'm sorry. And they did 90s night better than a lot of teams do 90s night. So, that's... Fix it. Anyways, moving on to the Rosemary Lynn massage.
Can I do another one?
It'll tie into that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Rosemary Lynn massage. Wildcast of the week. She's back for another season sponsoring, and they're having a very special discount right now. 15% off all healthcare workers and first responders. Just go to rosemarylynmassage.business site and download the coupon till January 1st, 2022. So you got just about a month left. And if you want to, if you're not a healthcare worker or a first responder, just give her a call at 506-830-1224. And the Wildcast Wildcat of the Week is a player we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. I don't know if the expectation was just too high coming into the season off having a season he had with Jacob Hudson last year. But, Francis Langlois has just gotten better and better. He had a goal in each, or an assist against Quebec. He had a snipe of a goal against Baie-Comeau, so 2 points in 2 games. And like you said, if Mueller's going to model himself around a player, Langlois is that type of player. He's not putting up a lot of points last year or in our 2 years where we had, stellar teams, but he did the little things. He did the grinding. He went into the dirty areas. So for that, he is the Rosemary Lynn Massage Wildcats Wildcat of the Week as well.
Yeah, so this hasn't been confirmed, but we've been able to do a little investigative work.
A few hints out there.
Yeah. So Langlois and Thomas Darcy seem to have started like a side hustle, if you want to put it that way. On Instagram, Nosta_BLVD, which I'm assuming stands for Boulevard.
Yeah, Nostalgia Boulevard is what I'm guessing because it's older.
Yeah, that makes
Nostalgia,
sense.
like clothes. Yeah,
I never.
We're
even
not
thought
hip,
of,
but yeah.
What I didn't think of that. Anyways,
that's the first thing. Yeah, nostalgia clothing. Yeah.
So they're gonna be selling and buying vintage clothes, and so this got a lot of. I was like, everybody was sharing this. I'm like, what is this? And then I looked at the page, and it seems like. They're going to be they've got a business going on, so that's exciting. It's if that's any indication, and they've got their sights set on a business here in Moncton. Maybe we're going to be hanging on to 16 a lot longer than I'm thinking. So we'll see. But this looks interesting. Check it out. They've got one post on there. It's already like a vintage Baltimore Orioles shirt and hat with
Jordans.
some Jordans and some looks like some Wranglers, some Levi Wranglers.
Yeah, something like that.
So
we're not fashionistas.
Yeah,
people.
we're not
fashionistas.
we're not walking the red carpet here at the New York Fashion Show.
Yeah.
But this looks like an interesting page to follow. So yeah, on Instagram, Nosta_BLVD, which appears as we said to be the new side hustle for Francis Langlois and Thomas Darcy. So go get them, boys.
Yeah, and hey, we're always here if you want to be a sponsor. But yeah, we'll share that page. I mean, I'm sure if you follow a lot of the players, you probably saw it yesterday. So that'll do it for us. I mean, we want to thank Johnny Rocket from up in Bathurst jumping on to discuss the Bathurst situation and get into a little trade speculation a couple weeks early. Don't forget, please drive safe in this weather. Snow is back. It sucks, but just take your time. And we'll be back next week to hopefully wrap up a successful road trip and get ready for a 2-game homestand against Val-d'Or and Victoriaville, which I believe is the Skate with the Cats night against Victoriaville 2 weeks from this Sunday. So that's it for us. Have a good week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.